Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Tripod, Episode 5. I'm obviously not your host, Raphael Sanguili. I am Scott Mitchell. I'm going to be hosting in his stead this week. He's out in New York City doing a little event for a client. And you know what? This week we're trying to focus in on being thankful and what that means in the realm of business and personal life. And for that topic, we have a special guest, CEO and co-founder of Digital, Gxa Network. So, listen on, gain some insight. Hopefully you enjoy what follows. For this episode, which we're going to kind of focus on the topic of showing thanks, we got Giovanni Sanguili here. He is the CEO at Digital. Founder, CEO, started from the bottom, now he's here. Just to give you a quick rundown of what we're kind of going to be trying to focus in on here is, Thanksgiving more than the time of year is just you should always be a thankful person. And we want that to transfer to whatever business we're a part of. We want to be able to show thanks not only as an individual, but as a corporation, as a small business, whatever it may be. And I think Gio's a great person to speak to that for us.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I mean, for everybody out there, I think that wherever you're at in your professional career, whether you're just starting out your own business, you got all the nerves, you got all the anxiety, right, that comes along with it. And, it can quickly overwhelm you if you don't take time to be thankful for what you have, especially when times are hard and you have to make critical decisions to move things forward. Yeah. So I think that how you balance, right, your gratitude versus to what you're doing, it kind of centers you again, levels your head, and then reminds you why you're doing everything, which is the driving force of any business, the why. Exactly. And then you can leverage that to continue moving forward. Yeah.
So Thanksgiving we are all very familiar with. It's a very big American holiday. It's recently become a little hotly contested for fair reason. It's kind of based around a weird time in American history. But beyond the time where it took place, it's important to really focus in on what it actually can mean. And I think it's important that at least once a year, hopefully every day of your life, you're thinking about what you're thankful for, because that will keep you focused, and that will kind of give you that drive you need when times are tough, when you're at the bottom, when you got no energy. And so kind of to translate that into Digital as a business, and other businesses hopefully can relate to this, is we at Digital make a very conscious effort out beyond Thanksgiving, the time of the year. We try to show that we're thankful for our clients. We're in an industry where we're very creative people. We like to expect that people will love what we create. We want to show them the latest piece of art, the latest website, the latest custom designed UI element, whatever it may be, and we expect them to really resonate with it and show their love toward us. But I think what can be lost along the way is you got to show that love right back to them, because they are half of your business. You're one half, you're making, you're creating, you're doing things for them, but they're the other half. They're believing in you in the form of, keeping you on as a paid part of their income. They are spending their hard-earned business's money toward your goods. And it's a very big thing to have, especially when you have a revenue stream which isn't just one big payment. It's recurring. You got to keep up that relationship, which is what we do here at Digital. We have a recurring revenue stream. So if you can speak to that and why you think it's kind of important.
I think it's extremely important. I think those of you that are in the business of delivering services, and it could probably transcend to products and things like that, but we're in the people business. And whatever value you put in is a lot about perceived value. What may be valuable to someone else may not be valuable to the other person. And I'm a big believer, even in the marketing strategy, that the whole effort here of what maintains a long-term relationship with a client is how well you maintain the client exchange life cycle. That's what I call it. How much value you put into versus what you're expecting to receive. And I think that as a business owner, if you're in the business of serving others, then you got to think about putting more value out than you expect to get back always. What can we do to drive more value, no matter what it is. And I think that's even when you make a mistake as a business, and everybody business makes mistakes. We you make a mistake on behalf of a client, right, that can affect the relationship. I think that's why most businesses jump out to say, I'm sorry, even that word. When you jump out to say you're sorry and you're genuine about it, it's because you understand these people are paying you and the value it brings to you, right? And how much you rely on that, right? Because it extends beyond what it does for a company, but a company is designed to support and finance the lifestyles of not only the people that work directly in there, but the families that depend on that income. Right. So, here we got nearly 40 families that depend on the income that TriDigital pays them in their checks, and which we depend on our clients to give us. Right. So we're always overly thankful, and we're always trying to be very attentive to what our clients need and what we can do to make sure that they have a really positive experience, so that the value exchange on their end is balanced. And I hope that they say, TriDigital provides us so much value, man, I can't believe we're doing it based on what they pay. If they feel that about our services and we feel that about what they provide to us, then you found a really good balance between your firms.
And I like that. I want to dig in on that idea of value, because when you're saying value, I'm sure a lot of people are thinking dollars and cents. They're thinking return on investment. They are thinking, do we provide the leads?
Yeah.
Do we get them more money month to month? But value is a lot more than that.
Sure.
Value is, I'm sure you can speak better to this, but value is just, it's a feeling, and a feeling of that we care. And we're there for our clients, and we will always be communicating. So how does TriDigital address that in its growth?
Well, I think, it starts off as something as simple as like a thank you gift, right? When you sign up a client, we go out of our way to we partner with a company called Brownie Points, and we brand this box. It has a bunch of goodies, and I think that we don't tell them that we're sending it. It just kind of arrives. And I love the fact that it kind of makes people smile, and sometimes I'll see them tweet about it, or sometimes I'll get an email about it. Man, thank you so much about it. And making people smile, something as small as that, it does so much more to cement the value that you give back, because they feel like they're in a relationship with somebody, and it's just more than the line items in your SLA. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's more than just doing this to keep a client on longer, guys. It's more than just doing this for the business. It's also about doing this for what you believe a good community looks like. And I think it's very important to do the right thing because you want the community to do the right thing back. Mm-hmm. And I think that here at TriDigital and just businesses at large really are starting to push that more. We're starting to realize that these actions we take as a business, they're so impactful on how people interact with each other. So we have to kind of be a good person as a business. We have to take on that personality, that moral good. And we have to hope that when it comes time that we need some good thrown back on us, the community will deliver.
Yeah, that's just your philosophy on life, right? The golden rule and the law of attraction, right? And kind of, feeding the universe positive vibes and let them return those positive vibes. I really think that whatever your ambitions are, if you don't find a way or time in all that ambition to give back to people, you're going to find it coming to an end, And you guys can be really creative about how you do this. Like, for instance, if you guys are ever behind me in line at a Starbucks or anything else like that, I try to go to more coffee houses because I like the latte art and all that. But, if you go to Starbucks, I will always pay for 3 to 5 cars behind me every time. Yeah. Because I think, especially in the morning, a lot of people, whether they own their business or whether they're on to doing a job they may not like, or they got the case of the Mondays or whatever, they're kind of like, oh, here we go, another day in the grind, right? And they're in line waiting for their coffee to get woken up. And again, they didn't pull up to the window and say, hey, it's been covered for you, It's that smile. It changes their whole outlook on their on their day,
I feel like I'm having the best day ever when someone says I look good. So I can't imagine if some stranger bought me a cup of coffee when I was, awake 6:30 a.m. walking into the Starbucks, being like, oh, I gotta sloth through this line. So that's a good point. Is like, you don't have to go big. You don't have to do these grand, big shows every once in a while. Sometimes just sprinkling small things of good for people you don't always know or have met before is a more impactful thing.
Sure. Or besides, the monetary exchange is bringing awareness to certain topics. I mean, I wish that Tridigital can donate more than it does, right? I mean, that's your hope that you can, drive more profits and do more for others. But, sometimes when you find yourself not having to do anything, you can do something as simple as changing your logo, to support the troops or support breast cancer, support whatever, and bring awareness to things. Because, I mean, there's people suffering with that all the time. And we're all in it. We spend most of our life at work, right? So whatever you can do, man, to give back to others or just show other people that you care is a big deal.
Yeah. And so you've been in this business as a sales professional for quite some time. And I think that more than anyone else, a sales professional kind of has to think and be aware of these clever ways to show thanks, because they catch the brunt of it a lot, but they also get to have a lot of positive client interactions. So in your years, what are some of the cool kind of inventive ways you've seen companies show thanks to clients or potential clients?
I'll give you guys a couple ideas. First, let me share, like I said, let me answer your question directly with other companies I've seen do things. Yeah. There's a company that sticks out in my mind that they're called Point Click Solutions. Yeah. The owner is a friend of mine. I've known him for years. We haven't done business together, right? Probably because just friends or whatever else. But I remember him telling me, we went out to dinner when he came down to Texas, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, what are you doing to really market and tell show that you're different, Yeah. Outside of the great services you offer in your technology, man. Tell me about Malik. I mean, I enjoy your company, right? How come you don't have more of your personality on there? He goes, well, I don't know what's important, I'm like, well, tell me some things you do to show clients you care. And what he does is unbelievable. He'll give a client a trophy, get a trophy made for them for every year they've been a client. And he flies down to personally deliver those to each one of his clients. And he's got clients like the NFL, people that may not even care, but he just goes down there and he's like, hey, and there's just really cool pictures of them like, shaking hands like, we've been a client for 10 years. I mean, 10 years, you know what that's like, and to still care as much to go ahead and do things like that. Gxa Network Solutions, another company, their whole business model, is based around the theory of giving back and this joint effort to make the world better. So what he does is he was an engineer working for another company, and he used to spend 20% of his earned income to give back and rebuild schools in Kenya or Mexico or whatever else. And George is just very much about giving, George Mackay. And what he did was he's like, well, I need more time. Like, I don't have enough PTO or I don't have enough vacation time to do this as much as I want to. Sure. So I'll start my own business. And that way I can make enough income so I can just go do more of this. And he built it in such a way that now he tells his clients, like, look, the value exchange is like this. You come to me with a problem, right? I help you solve that problem, and by solving it, I drive up your profits. You share some of that profit with me, and not only does it support our employees and our family and our business, but then a small portion goes into making the world a better place. So he helps them see where their revenue is going.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's a super awesome thing, and without even knowing, he involved the client into giving back.
Yeah. So from a sales standpoint, how have you seen sales people or sales divisions of businesses incorporate giving thanks?
I see it the bad way and the good way.
Yeah. Right? Tell me the bad first, of course.
The bad is when you're forced to do it, right? It's like, hey, follow up with clients, make sure you send them a happy birthday thing on their birthday, and do these other things. And oh, by the way, when you go show up in the client in the folder, please make sure to show them all the ways we give back. Right? And I think where it came from, to get the collateral printed, right, from the top down, the company actually cares about it, to spend enough on flyers to actually do it. But salespeople that just kind of do it, it's going through the grind to mention it or to guilt the person into like, hey, you see all this good that we're doing, right, when they really don't believe in it. And I think that kind of shit is the stuff that ends up in not making any sales. If you want to be a sales professional, right? That puts more value than you get back, and you want to make customers feel like you care and they want to invest in you, and there's that reciprocity, right? And that mutual zest towards the relationship.
Sure.
You got it. You can't fake it. You got to want to follow up with people. It's got to come out of you personally, right? And I'll tell you what, like, no business is perfect. I've lost clients that I'm glad we've lost because learning from that, it was not a good partnership. It's just not a good fit. And we're better as a company because we lost those people. And there's other people we've lost making mistakes because we're only 3.5 years old that I regret to this day, right? People that I really liked, that I had a really good relationship with, right? And I couldn't make good enough decisions to get them what they needed. Although we still have a positive relationship with those clients today, we're cool and it's all good and when we see each other, it's great. I carry that with me. But for instance, when Hurricane Maria and Irma hit Florida, all my clients, previous and current, I texted all of them, how your family's doing, everybody okay, do you need anything, please let me know how I can help, right? It has to come out of you. You have to sit there on your phone and you have to feel for it. No different than if you tell a sales professional just to do general follow-up, forget the gifts and forget all the stuff, like, hey, follow up with that sale. The second you have to tell a sales professional that, okay, you don't got the right guy. They should want to. They should want to keep it going forward. They should want to be prompt in communication with clients. They should care that the client is getting things, as quickly as possible, and they're getting that white glove service. If you don't, you're not going to get the results you're looking for.
Absolutely. And I think that speaks to how good consumers are now at sensing when someone is being authentic and when someone is just kind of going through the motions. And I think that follows through really, really tightly in the sales process. People pick up pretty quickly when they're being sold something and there's no authenticity to the person. That's a
perfect example, perfect segue. So in this industry, everybody wants appointments. Like, I just want to get appointments, and what they'll do is they'll hire an outsourced telemarketing company or appointment setters or whatever. They either pay by appointment or pay by the hour and do whatever. You got to understand the mindset of these people, okay? They're trying to call most likely a bunch of other technology firms, and they're blowing through a community list of businesses that you have and blowing up the phone, making $300-$400 a day, bam, 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 burning through whoever they can find that has a little bit of pain that they can convert into an appointment, right?
Sure.
And all the while, you on the other end, the client who hired them, says, great, I got this appointment. This is awesome. 3 appointments, 4 appointments. And yeah, maybe you close a couple deals and maybe you make some money. This is like the greatest thing on earth.
Oh, it's working, yeah. Heck
yeah, it's right? ROI. What about all those hundreds of dials? Like, how many people did they piss off? To do that. Like, your market's only so small. So, like, this theory of cold calling and, like, the sole purpose of this call is to get you to have an appointment with me. Me, all this value back, right? And they kind of justify it with some sense of like, well, if I help them, then for all the people I pissed off, or maybe they're not even aware they pissed all these people off, but they're like, this one person I'm solving a problem, so I'm doing a good thing. Right? Versus I tell people, look, do not cold call anybody, okay? Call it client experience calling. No matter what my position was, VP of worldwide marketing, director of sales that I've had in my career, I never referred to myself as a sales professional, prompting them down to get an appointment. Of course, did I want to get their business? Did I want an appointment? Sure. But my job was to maximize the impact or the value exchange for everybody I was calling. So I would call myself the client experience manager. So I say, hi, I'm the client experience manager here at Intelligent Enterprise. My job is to make sure you have the best possible experience on our website or on the phone when you call in. Hey, I saw you downloaded our white paper. Was it good? Did it provide value? Tell me what you think. I found that people naturally want to give too. We're talking about giving. Most people have the time to give you some feedback, right?
Yeah. So it's all about how you prompt somebody, and you got to make an exchange of kind of ideas and information.
You bet. And when you get some information, you'll be surprised what you hear. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was general. I own a real estate firm, or I own an accounting practice, and I was looking for something more relevant to my business. But hey, it's still good. I think it's fine. Maybe a little less technical, whatever. But I took that opportunity to say, hey, you know what? That's a really good point. Let me get with our engineers. Let me write something for you, right? That's a little bit more relevant to your business. 10 days later, I send that document to them for free. Hey, remember when we talked? Here's the article that's more relevant to your business. Hopefully it helps. Almost every time I've done that, they're like, you did this for free? I didn't even pay, you haven't even paid me. It always turns into an appointment, and you gave something, you gave some time, you gave some effort to have the best possible impact at every engagement.
I think that speaks to just investing in someone even when they're not a client.
You bet.
So people like to feel like you're taking time out of your day to give them special attention, and that does convert. For sure. Yeah. So as far as Tri-Digital goes, what are some interesting things we've done of recent to show appreciation for clients?
I think it's I would like to say that, being the owner of the company, what my vision is that we do it at every engagement, at every opportunity, every email we send out. To give you an idea, something as simple as not gating the white papers, right? What I mean by gating is some people will put, hey, download this white paper, and you click on it, and it leads you to a page where you have to enter in a bunch of information. You give me, then I give you,
sure,
right? This white paper. And my thought is, what's wrong with them reading something you wrote that helps their business? How can that do wrong? Just click it, no forms to fill out, man, just take it. Something that small is a big deal. Now, take it up to these events. An event can be very costly, right? We do these private movie screening events that have massive audience. We call a studio to get a movie early, and then we bring the whole crowd and everything else. And the first thing you think of, 250 seats. Oh man, I want 250 decision makers.
Absolutely, right? You want to make all that money back.
Yeah, 250 CEOs, all the money. And I go, really? They're just going to go by themselves? Like, who goes to movies by themselves? It's kind of weird, right?
No plus ones, guys.
Yeah.
Who goes to weddings without a plus one?
Sure. And then I try to tell them, or then they go, adults only. Well, if it's a good movie like a Star Wars, you probably want the kids to come around, especially it's Christmas time.
Absolutely.
So we try to tell people, look, you are making this investment, but think of half the audience being your target, right, or a third.
Sure.
How much business you can still get out of that, right? One or two deals, one deal. Okay,
pays for the event.
Doubles it.
Yeah.
So I tell them, invite their family, make it fun, showcase you're a person about people and that you value family, and hopefully you do, and you value all that stuff, and you want to share a really cool experience with everybody. That I think part of how we set that up is why so many business owners end up saying, they get 30, 40 appointments out of that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, man, look at all this. And I mean, we take it to another. Sometimes we do the golden ticket, like the Willy Wonka golden ticket, and then there'll be special prizes. And if we take head counts of the kids and buy lightsabers for every kid that's there, I mean, it's a hoot, right? So it's just like if you think about how to maximize the value exchange at every step, right? What can you do to make yourself look good in front of others? You're going to find yourself right where you want to be.
Yeah, it's about looking beyond the numbers and the bottom line. Sometimes you're going to be in the red for a little bit, but then you're going to be in the black because those little kids who you bought lightsabers for are going to tell their dads or their moms how fucking cool you are.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other thing is, too, if you think about it, Tri-Digital's been around for 3.5 years. Started from my garage, and we're 40 employees, right? Yeah. And at every offset, should we do this? Should we put so much out there? When you don't have all the money and everything's on the line. I got kids too, but I'm like, you know what? Let's just throw it out there, and the universe will give back, man. It always works out that way.
Yeah. Just gotta have a little trust. Really good. The community can really help you out when you need it. You help it out when it needs it. So, I guess in summation, we really need to just focus in on the fact that your clients, your potential clients, whatever they are, it's more than what you have written down on your website as your offerings. It's more than the black and white. It's more than you pay for this and this is what I give you. It's about giving extra. It's about giving your free time. It's about giving attention that they aren't necessarily paying for, but it's still very important to making them feel like a valued person, a valued client, just a valued individual who feels like they can maybe find a friend in you.
Correct. And this is true with client or not client, guys. And a good recommendation I can give to all of you watching the podcast is there's a book called The Go-Giver by Bob Burg. It's a small book. It's a small read, but fantastic business story of a salesman on his way out, can't close anything, and he was basically just spending the last budget that he had to just have a good time with some of these people that he met, and really give back. It's a really strong, powerful book. You get through it in an hour, But I recommend the book, The Go-Giver, to people. The other thing too, I think that's kind of a good takeaway from all this. Guys, remember that everything you do in marketing should be an accurate reflection of your company. I really honestly believe that. And when you say, I want these appointments, I'm offsetting something I wouldn't do because I don't like calling people and pissing them off, so I'm going to hire someone else to do it. They're representing your company when you do that, okay? So it's like all the time, I see so many people just go, oh man, I want to try this campaign, and it looks a little crazy. It looks like, kind of looks like shit. But man, I see all these testimonials, so many results. So let me tell you something. Those testimonials, those results are real. They're not hopefully they're not fabricated. I believe they're real because someone saw that marketing strategy and was like, yes, that's me, man. That's like, oh yeah, I want to do all that. And some people want the win so bad they look at it and they go, oh, I don't know, and they go through it anyway.
Sure.
And then they find no results out of it, man. So you gotta positively express yourself, do the things that you're thankful for, participate in ways that you feel good about, whatever that strategy ends up being. And those clients that are mirror images of you, right, that you have more in common with you than you might think, those clients are the ones that are going to be receptive to it.
Sure. I think that's as good a place as any to end this one on.
All right, cool.
So guys, first of all, I'd like to thank Gio for coming in, giving some really helpful insight. Everybody watching, I hope that you have a great little time off during the Thanksgiving season, and I hope that you also find time to give to someone you know, someone you don't know, to just give good energy back into the world, and hopefully that'll be reciprocated back to you in kind. So happy Thanksgiving, and have a good week.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.